We have a great session in store for you guys today. I have my good friend Mesa here. She's been learning some art from me for the last couple months, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so she's going to be joining me on our last paint-along session, and it's going to be a good time.
Yes.
So let's get into it. All right, welcome to the studio. I am Dylan. This is our friend Mesa. We are going to be painting caves and the nether region from Minecraft today. I'm going to be specifically painting Minecraft, but I'm going to be here showing Mesa how to do a more impressionistic style of a cave painting. So if you are a huge fan of Minecraft and you want to paint along with a sort of cubist sort of Minecraft painting that I do, I'm going to be using not rulers. I'm going to be using a squeegee. So this is going to be helpful for building up some of our geometric forms for the Minecraft world. But Mesa is going to be sticking strictly with our brushes. But we're going to get started with a bit of our background work, and we're actually going to get our paint set up first, so probably get started painting in about 5 minutes. So we'll just we'll just relax and hang out here while we get going. So I'm gonna serve you up a bit of everything, and then once we've got our paints, we can get into drawing. It's just like pure primary colors. It's wonderful. So if you guys are painting along with us today, you're going to need the primary colors, of course. That's all I've been using all week. But specifically, if you want to get the exact same tones that we're getting, this is our cadmium red medium hue. We have cadmium yellow medium hue. We have our ultra blue. And finally, titanium white. I don't think we're going to touch black today. We incorporated it a bit into our Baba Yaga painting from yesterday, but yeah, I think we're going to keep the tones a little more colorful in this one, especially for me, because I'm going to be taking my painting into the nether, so it's going to be very toned red, whereas Mesa is going to be working more with blue shades to get a more natural shadow look. So I'm going to definitely serve up a lot of red to myself, but probably not. Actually, speaking of paints, I'm cheating. I'm using the paints that I mixed up preemptively in the last live stream yesterday. Okay. This one's gonna be nice and easy to clean with. It's, you get to just peel the paint once it's fully dried.
I like the pouches, just like that.
It's a silicone. It's meant for specifically this, like,
Oh, it is.
well, it may, actually, it might not be. I think I just got recommended to use, it's not. I got recommended to use a silicone baking trays.
Okay, cool.
Like, they're just like little muffin trays, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Way better than using this.
Yeah, like, if you use the...
store pellet.
Yeah. I think actually you'll need a box of glue, so I'm just gonna put it on. cadmium red. So it has cadmium in it. It's usually when you hear that word, cadmium, people get kind of scared, especially in the art world. The cadmium is a toxic metal, so it's something the body can't naturally flush out. But in its acrylic form, when we're using it in acrylic paints, the cadmium is actually suspended in plastic particles, like acrylic. And it's not, unless you're going to be sanding it, like your finished painting, which do not. If you are painting with cadmium paints, don't sand your paintings unless you have like a respirator, because that's when the metals can get airborne and into our lungs, and we don't have an ability to get rid of it. Whereas acrylics, technically, I wouldn't recommend it, but technically you could just take a big spoonful and eat it. Don't. I don't want anyone doing this and coming back like, the artist studio said I could eat acrylic paint. No, don't do that. There are more than, I would say there is varying types of acrylic paint. So there are like school safe acrylic paints, which have less additives to it that allow the paint to like more evenly dry kind of stuff. So like the school paints, you'll find they are less I don't know, they're crappier.
Oh yeah, they are not.
They dry matte, right? And
yeah, they do.
But you know what's great about them? You can just pound them back.
And probably they have to be like that because children probably did.
Yes,
like, oh.
Exactly. Well, imagine when the school paints were lead-based.
Yeah.
Different times.
Yeah.
Okay. I think to get started with our painting, we're going to talk about... Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. I cleaned up this bench back here to put the keyboard on it, and then I didn't think to use it. So, I'm going to switch over to Cam 2. So we got you guys over our shoulders here. We're going to be focusing on a bit of the composition, like I always do for these paintings. So I'm going to first kind of get the shape of our canvas, which isn't quite as tall of a rectangle here. It's probably only about that long, right? I'm thinking for this cave, I really want this idea of this being surrounded by earth and rock that's all around us. And then there's some moment where the cave opens up and there's a space in which we want to venture towards, kind of thing. So what I want to do to help us is I first want to create a tic-tac-toe board, like we had talked earlier in the week. This is our rule of thirds when it comes to composing images. So I want to choose one of these 4 spaces to place the opening of my cave. So I'm going to leave that up to the audience. You guys can choose what you want to do, whether it's just a small little opening like that and you are peering up into a giant, or from the bottom of a giant pit or something. Maybe there's like some trees or something down here. One of those very ancient jungle caves. Or perhaps it's down here, you have a smaller little opening and you have this feeling as though this cave is very menacing and heavy and there's a lot of rock that's sitting above you and it almost feels like it's gonna topple on you, but the earth is just holding it above you. So there's so many different ways you can take this, but I want you to focus on creating these moments of light in one of these 4 spaces. Not all of them, just one of them. And then playing with a sort of amorphous shape, a weird shape that doesn't really, it's not circular, and kind of, maybe it's like a bean shape, or it's sort of like a, I don't know, maybe it's even phallic looking, who cares? Let's have some fun with it, you know? So, here, you can use this pencil and I'll grab another one. So give that to you. Draw lightly, because Mesa's going to be working on watercolor paper. similar to the other 3 paintings that I've done in the week. So yesterday's was on this same paper, and the first 2 paintings we had done was on this paper. For myself, pencil. Yep.
It's not great.
No, that eraser on that pencil is gonna stop. This is a really good eraser here. It's not that great. This is actually this is the canvas I'm going to be working on today, which is the back side of another painting I've done previously. So this is the painting, I had done this with on an art paint with Mesa. Here, let's drop us down here into change it to studio mode as well. Okay, so yeah, I did this previously on another night. I did a lot of this with this squeegee work that you're going to see me do a little bit later. But what I really want to do is, so I'm going to be following this general directions that I provided, but I'm going to have a little bit more creativity and fantasy thrown into this one. So while I have Mesa, you're being very specific with the rule of thirds, aren't you?
There's some things that it says no.
But your blob is gonna, you know what, you do you. If you want an exact third, but I'm just gonna do this where it's just basic. Okay. So the directions I'm going to be providing to Mesa, she's going to be doing a very grounded, realistic cave that, who knows, what is going to be in the opening, do you think?
Beach.
Beach. Leaned into beach, I like that. For me, I think my opening opens up into the nether in Minecraft, and I'm imagining that we have this regular cave that has this, I want to think that has some sort of like crack. Which is spilling out this this nether corruption. Hey, Keep. Have our first guest. So we have I have an audience member who is from Russia. They've been a long-time viewer, so while their country is going through a lot of drama, Keep likes to stop in and have the stream to just chill out with.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. So I'm imagining that. Ooh, I just had a thought. I like where Mesa's going, so she's including a horizon line in hers. I'm gonna change the direction that I have for this. I think I'm going to also include an opening that provides a clearing. I'm gonna make it very squared up because mine is gonna be grounded in the Minecraft world. And then I think this is gonna be just like a big cave. There's gonna be some parts that get real close here, but then down here, I think it goes deep. And I think I want the idea of the nether down in here. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little weird with this one.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think I'm going to tone shift mine from like earthy colors, very Minecraft cave colors, to nether colors and red down in here. Be a little interesting. Definitely playing with a bit of perspective, probably. What are you thinking?
That's so my idea here.
Mhm.
So I can see a beach, right? So I want to have a stone line for the sea,
Mhm.
but I kind of want like.
You want that? What if the beachfront or that sand is flowing into your cave, right?
Yeah, like I can have some For sure, yeah. Because then it's not gonna just be a whole line.
Yep.
Then we can change.
You can think of this sharp line, that would be more like the shadow line of the sun casted down, right? And so now we have, think of this as very, very bright, and then this would be a darker line where things kind of shift into a desaturated, a little darker, gray-like. And so it feels like it's more like a cave.
Yeah.
And then as things get closer to you, you'll use darker tones and you'll be able to refine the details by creating highlights off of the lights that come through the cave.
Yeah. My question though is regarding the seed that I want to see here, because like it feels just like
flat.
Yeah.
So what if
it's a painting thing that when I go with the paint is gonna change?
What you could also do is you could do an exaggerated horizon line where it kind of arcs a little bit.
It arcs.
So it comes up a little bit, and then for your waterfront, we'll look at like trying to fake some waves that are crashing on the beach, and so it doesn't look so sharp.
Okay. I think I know something I want to do. Maybe like sand coming from here, and still have some extra browns.
Immediately, I'm thinking that like, what if there's like puddles of water that have pooled in the cave that are reflecting the images outside, like catching the lights, the same color tones and stuff.
That would be nice.
Right.
Something around here.
Now that's where you can start playing with the composition and stuff. We'll get into more of the details, but what I want to do first is get our background colors sorted out. For me, I want to think about the bright colors that would be in the sky and the environment just outside of the cave. So similar to you would want nice bright beach colors, right? So we're gonna need to create some sort of gray, beige sandy color. You'll need some light blues for the sky. The sea colors will need to create sort of like a greeny blue. And then from those, I think you could probably be able to play with the tones of the sand and create your cave colors. So what I'm gonna do, look at this as my, these are my reference colors for, I think it'll be like this opening of this cave perhaps is what I'm looking out of here. And so what I think is I need to have some sort of water that is coming and just spilling down. I think I'm gonna do something like that. So for the first layers, I think what we want to do is to do light colors for any of those spots where there's openings, or your for me specifically, I have these areas where I might have torches placed on the cave wall. But your reflective ponds, I would also do the background colors that you do here, sort of pick up those gradient colors and smush them.
Okay.
But otherwise, I would just follow my lead.
Okay.
Feedback.
Okay.
So I've got some of my colors pre-mixed. What you should try to make a baby blue first. Yeah, you're gonna need a sky blue.
Oh.
What's that? I do it all the time.
It's like it's the same color though.
Yep.
Totally.
That's actually why I didn't end up using it myself. I purchased it, and then I purchased this one at the exact same time, and I leaned towards this one because it's like I can't even see the colors in this.
Yeah. So there you go.
I'm definitely gonna need some more blue though.
Baby blue, would you just go white?
Yep, I would just go white and blue. can use this water. Honestly, use as many brushes as you need. And that is a brush holder. You can just... Thanks. This and sneak in a little bit closer to you. I'm gonna also make myself a blue.
I like these green.
Oh, yeah, me too.
The orange.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose this palette because I feel a lot of these same tones I'm going to use for my nether.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with my sky. For me, I'm going to kind of do the similar thing where I have a sort of horizon line that I'm thinking about. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about trying to refine details. We're not about doing details at the moment. We're just trying to get the tones right for our image. Now I'm gonna start transitioning to these browns, and I think I'm gonna make a grayish brown. Do brown with a bit of blue. There's a lot of light blue in there. This is kind of my stone color. I'm just gonna blot that down a lot. Start by getting really messy at first. Here's my squeegee.
That's good.
So these paintings are going to be really easy. This one really leaning into our impressionistic styles. We're going about the feelings of the space. Just using the squeegee to help put some rigid forms on my canvas here. Not quite know what that red is there. Like I have some I have some line work that was just like scuffed up on the back of the canvas here, but you know what? I think it's going to help us get some little bits of detail into our work.
I really like how these colors mix, like so primary colors indeed.
Yeah, it's just nice to work with primary colors and get back to basics.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
A reminder to everybody, if you guys didn't actually watch the stream from yesterday, this started as those primary colors that I gave to Mesa. So what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to go from that lighter gray, bluer tones. I'm going to transition to a darker and darker color. I'm going to slowly add more and more blue, I think, into this to tone it to shadow colors. So thinking about the idea of squares and cubes in our Minecraft world here. Help you? Just more brushes. Just get all of the all of the brushes.
Just trying to not mix my colors too much.
Yeah.
Get them.
I think going off tilt here is going to benefit my composition. I'm just going to add a little bit of angle to my eyes. What you trying to make? Oh, seafoam. Nice. Seafoam green.
Just.
So you have the general tone. Don't worry about not getting the like wave details and stuff. We'll pick that up after break. We'll get more into the detailing of things.
Or beige like this, white, yellow. That's it. Maybe some gray, green.
So what I would do is go yellow into white, right? And that'll make a kind of a canary yellow. And then you start adding blues into that to start toning it into beige. If you want to make it more brown, then you add red. Once we have our backgrounds here, we're gonna turn our canvases up so you guys will have a better view as well. No space for you up here, Benny. Oh, Benny scared the bejesus out of us yesterday.
Why?
He was choking on a fur ball.
Oh.
And this was in the middle of the night. This was like 12:30 at night. He was choking on a fur ball, and he couldn't get it up, and he passed out. Yeah.
Gosh.
So we had to like give him a Heimlich maneuver, and then he came through. Luckily, scared the crap out of us though. Oh. It was not a fun night. It was not a fun night.
No, like we left now, but it's all in despair, you know. Like,
Yeah, he's just, and he's gone. He's,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Like, there was that one point where I was just like holding him and he just went like limp. I was like, oh, come on, buddy.
Aw.
Yeah, Sean came to the rescue though. He got up like he was fast asleep. I was like, Sean, Betty's choking. It's like in a second he was he was by my side.
That's
Oh.
good.
Good dad reflexes.
Yeah. But then someone knew what was doing as well, you know. I don't think I would know what to do in this situation.
Yeah.
Get the badge. Why do the person I don't know.
It wasn't an exciting. Well, it was certainly exciting. So let's say that it was exciting. We'll give him that.
Just wanted to say, I don't know if you like my face. It's too
Oh,
yellowish.
so Miha was a guest that I had yesterday.
Hello.
Back with more philosophy. They have a series of characters that they have been working on, and so we were going through some of their world building in yesterday's stream.
Oh, nice.
What do you got for us today, Miha?
Way harder at phone calls.
We have Miha describes in their world that they've built a lot of very positive mental health creatures. And so there's well, Miha, maybe you can better explain it for us. Maybe I'm not even getting the full picture of it yet. Nothing yet.
So kind of have my
Yeah,
outside.
there you go, exactly. So from there, I want you to start picking up this tone and start going darker. And so bring in a bit of red into that canary white. It'll go a little bit orange. Bring in bits of blue and it'll go darker and darker browns. And try to get to these kinds of tones.
Cool.
Because this will be an excellent background where we can actually add a lot of greenery on top and highlights and stuff that will, it'll pull it all together and it'll look really nice. If you want, you can use the squeegee.
Awesome. No, I'm just saying, I'm just looking how awesome it is.
Mm-hmm. The blanket creatures,
Nice.
they seem to be very comforting creatures.
Oh, I would bet on that.
Right? I would hope so. I don't want to swipe across your canvas. Sorry if I do.
It's okay.
Use a bit of water.
Yeah.
And that will help.
Should blend, yeah.
Yep. And what I like to do is, if I have too much paint on my brush, is just use your paper towel and just get rid of a lot of it. Or just use the side of your palette. You know, there's all kinds of ways to paint. I'm not telling you how to specifically paint, but...
Because I want like two proper mix, you know, I don't want so...
Use a bigger brush, and here, I will do a red hued gradient over here. Okay. Not using this. I will return to my squeegee use, but I will show you how I go about doing it. And I'm just going to get rid of that much too small of a brush. I'm going to grab something a bit bigger. I would use these guys for backgrounds.
Okay.
Miha says most of them are wool blankets with white stars. They are inspired by their own blankets. There's one that has big chubby arms and gives hugs, and it's the default blanket creature. I like how there's default blanket creatures. No, well, he's in the other room. So I'm going to start with this red. I'm going to go down here.
There's also blue. Oh, okay.
There's also a blanket.
He hugs by
creature.
wrapping around bodies. That's cool.
So here, I'm not worrying too much about the messiness of the brushworks. Like all of this, it's going to get covered up by other layers. If you don't think it's blending enough, use a lot more water.
I feel like now maybe start to. This should divide it, you know?
Take it further. Just take all of this color, go all the way down. By the time you start adding your color in here, you're going to want just little bits of that color to be touching and getting in behind and blending through it. But don't be afraid of just taking your color and going all crazy. Because the more you do that, the more it's going to start picking up a little bits of the medium underneath. And then it'll help start blending those colors together. So it's a great first layer, and then you start adding an additional layer. So for here, I'm going to add some browns now, and we're going to transition from that red to a brown. So there always has to be an overlap between the colors.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're not going to have a nice blend, and you're going to have that sharp line. Remember, this is just our underlayer, so we're messy. Be messy. We have lots of times a lot of time to clean it up. Do you have any questions for Miha's characters? Might be a challenging thing if you're not familiar with their characters. They I don't know, Miha, tell us about where your blanket creatures originated from. What made you first think of them?
I'm sorry.
Oh, buddy. Well, I hope you will.
Yeah, let's see.
What's that?
Just thinking.
I think I'm just going to get a little bit messy over here. More colors you kind of start bringing in, more natural it's going to look. Because a cave isn't going to be perfectly uniform, right? So we're not going to ever have a nice perfect gradient. So all the little rocks and bits of debris, they're going to start reflecting the light from different parts of the cave. So if I want to start blotting in bits of red over here, even though there isn't any red coming, or any red structures that I'm going to be making here, that red's going to be helpful for just toning our painting later.
That's what I was thinking, that's the major thing with red, right? Like, it's just helpful.
Yeah, the red's it's very good for toning a painting. What's that?
Because I can pretty much fold this painting to bring with
Oh,
me.
yeah,
So-
exactly. You could roll it up. Okay, I think my background's good. At least the first layer or so. We had a bit more down here. Cover up these white spots. All royalty free, provided by YouTube. It's actually one of the things I get complimented on the most. I think it's because I took my time to go through all, like, it was like 3,000 songs, and I was like, listen to at least 10 to 15 seconds of each one to feel if the vibe was the artist's studio.
That's nice. That's so important.
Mm-hmm. Felt necessary.
I feel like good music just helps.
Yep. Right. Brings a much better vibe to everything. I find a lot of people who watch my videos, it's just background television. I admit it. I understand it's good for that. Bob Ross was that for me, right? So.
Yes. Oh my God, Bob Ross. I remember watching him like this channel.
Mm-hmm.
TV Cultura, so it's called Culture TV.
Mm-hmm. Here is PBS, Public Broadcasting Television.
Yeah.
So it was just like sponsored by the government.
Yeah.
And it was all mostly just educational television.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Bob Ross was a big one. Watched a lot of Bob Ross. As a little anxious child, you know, very helpful.
Yeah. I can see what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
At least makes sense to myself.
Yep.
To other people, but to me makes sense.
I really like the red. It's gonna make it feel like it's almost a cave at dusk. Like there's gonna be a sunset. Like maybe we'll work to tone some of that blue sky and do a setting sun in there.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. These background colors will be great to help build a realistic sky, but we'll be able to put a nice yellow sun in there, and we'll use some yellow and oranges to tone some things up.
That's cool.
Okay, I think we're gonna go on about a 10-minute break, and when we get back, we'll have these guys faced up so that we have a better view for the audience, and hopefully, maybe I can get Mesa sped along for this first part. I'm gonna give her a couple hints to get us moving, and then we'll get into doing some of the detailing. So stick around, guys.
But I'm actually very happy with this. You're not understanding. Like.
Well, I'm glad we didn't do anything yet, so... Thank you, Keep. I really appreciate that.
Oh, no.
What's that?
We're not on mute anymore, right?
Nope. No, it's this one here.
Okay.
Yeah. We were. So the Russian person's name is Keep. That's basically how you pronounce it. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but they've assured me that it's good enough. Good enough.
I'm really getting seeing my painting right.
It looks nicer through the camera sometimes. Just fun.
Yeah. Just like giving me good.
Giving good vibes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, this is gonna be a nice, easy composition, but I just have fun with it, right?
Yeah.
So, what we can start with is focusing on your sky a little bit. I love that it's purple, because then it's gonna be kind of easier for us to tone red.
Mm-hmm. Wow, though I didn't put any red there. It was just blue and white.
Man, it looks purple. Maybe just because of the context of all the red.
Yeah.
You know, I really like the sweeping of the paint. You know what? It's so stylistic. I wouldn't do anything to the sky.
Yeah, I think that the sky is. I'm glad with that too.
Yeah.
The sea I want to change.
Yes, I would recommend. So you notice about the sky, you have this gradient that goes from this lighter white blue to just a slightly darker blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stunning. I love that. What if we can do a similar thing here, where we are going from a darker in the back, and let's just start adding little bits of whiter.
Mm-hmm.
And then can you bring in some of that yellow, just so we can see some of the sand, as though we can see the sand under the water. It's a bit of.
Do you think I can just like kind of?
Or yeah, you could bring the water
here?
in. Yeah, maybe bring the water in. That would be smarter.
Cool.
This is great. I would really like it. It's almost as though it's a beach like a hidden beach that you could never get to unless you were coming in from the water.
That was a little bit of my thought.
Yeah, it's beautiful. All right, let me get mine situated up.
I need to get my water thing.
There's a whole story going on in the comments. The stories Miha tells, they're reminiscent of where the wild things are. Very positive, physically, emotionally positive creatures that help a lost boy come to reality with running away from home. I don't know if that is it, isn't it? It's about kind of running away from home. Where the wild things are?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is it more about dreams?
I don't know. I think it depends a little bit of how you watch, even like your emotional state.
Yeah, it could be your emotions
Yeah.
really play into that.
Yeah. That's what I think sometimes. Because there's lots of like movies and even like books too that just it's hard to tell what is this story about. Like there's more than one point of view, one perspective, because it is different from everybody.
So Miha's giving us a Oh. Oh, is this... It might be still Miha's story that he's describing. He, they? I'm gonna say they. Just say they.
Just over there.
Just say they.
Once in doubt.
Pardon me?
Once in doubt, always say they, you know.
Hey, I like that.
Like this.
Maybe add a bit more water.
Yeah, and a little bit more white in it.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll get some whites into the highlights and details into the later part of the painting.
I miss the sea.
What's that?
I miss the sea.
Mm.
I was talking with my...
You're right, your property was like directly on the ocean, right? Growing up in Brazil.
Yeah. And my roommates, yesterday we had we made a dinner.
Mhm.
We just had some good time together, and we were like talking about things that we miss. And being by the sea, just
Yeah. I grew up very close to Lake Ontario. Like it was probably 100 meters down the road.
oh, okay, cool.
And so always was close to like a big body of water that I could just go freely swim in at any time.
Yeah.
So it's just very nice. I miss that. Miha's character Daywolf has I don't quite understand what Daywolf is saying here. I am responding. I'm also just trying to focus on the art here. Okay. We have underlays of our cave here, but it's quite desolate. There's not much life going on down here. What I am imagining for my painting is... Where's my mouse? Let's get rid of these two people in the corner. How annoying. Ugh. Okay. Now we just have this one guy over your shoulder. There we go. So this space down here, I was imagining this is going to be sort of a nether portal somewhere down in here, and it's opening out, and there's some nether creatures that are kind of coming into our overworld Minecraft space here. I know that's not how it works in game, but let's play with our imagination a little bit here, right? So I think I kind of want to make it sort of like this is this really dark, deep ravine that's going down. And there's this path that's going down. I also love this trailing water that's coming and showing. It feels like this is super deep and low as well.
Yeah. Kind of feels like there's...
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and then here is like a way
Ooh,
down.
I like that. I really like that. This is like foreground then.
Yeah.
And there's something... Ooh. This is just a lighter part of a cave or...
That's why you feel that.
See, it's nice to be able to paint with friends. You get different perspectives on things.
See?
Um...
Everything's about perspective.
Miha says they're an inspector and they require our papers now. We're gonna have to go look for them.
I'm hoping that I pack my papers to move.
Yeah! Make sure you get them all.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Keep. I'm really liking this composition as well.
Yeah. Cool. I think that now I could start.
Oh, this is great. Okay, something about the wave, unless there's some rocks that these are kind of like beat up against, the wave would have more of a actual smooth line. As the water wants to fill to a certain level, and it's going to be a consistent level across. So when we read it like this, it tells me that it's a rough shore.
Yeah.
Because the water has to be a consistent straight line.
So you would be like
Yep.
something like this?
You could do like a little sweep. It's just, it has to be like fluid.
I can actually like this. Right here.
Now, to me, it feels like there's this like groove in the earth. Like there's this deeper part. Maybe water streams down here on like high tides, and so maybe that's the reason why you'd have a pool here. I'm just thinking of like the world building here.
That would be cool, like if I can bring the water here and just have like a pool right here. And maybe we can have a path over here that goes to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Mine, I'm gonna lean into that suggestion that you had. I'm gonna start thinking about some of the foreground that would be here. But what I also want to do is play with this background. There's not much paint on this canvas here. I feel like I need to put some work in and make this... Maybe it's an overexposed bright light. Yeah. I need to play with this a little bit. There.
But this needs to not be this color.
No, it wouldn't. It would be actually very close to the sand's color.
Yeah.
There would be maybe some reflective light, so maybe some whites that get casted into it. But there's something great about acrylics. They are very forgiving. If you want to undo that, you can. By just using a wet paper towel.
Yeah.
Now there's like a sharp culvert in there, or like a groove of that water has channeled in.
Yeah, so...
Not a fan. Dip that into your water and you can wipe it as best you can.
Yeah,
You get some water.
we need more in. Where is your existence confirmation?
Existence confirmation. Oh goodness! I didn't get my existence confirmation. Maybe it's in my spam folder. I'll have to go look for that later.
I just hope.
Can I get Can I get away with a pass for now? My brush must be in your water. That's okay. I'll grab a new one anyways.
That's a bit better, but
I would have just like wiped it all away.
you know.
Yeah.
But how about the color that is underneath?
Oh, that's the great thing about acrylics. It won't. It's already dried. It's not going to pick up.
Oh, okay, cool.
But the longer we wait, the more that blue's trying, and the less you're going to be able to pick up.
Okay.
It's going to be muddy. It's going to be messy, but who cares? You've got the ability to add more detail using more paint.
It's me in the water.
Right. What do we got here? I think we have this edge here that is formed. I agreed with that. Where is my squeegee? I want that on hand.
Cool. So you will go like with more of a white.
No swearing in the artist studio.
Sorry.
It's okay. I occasionally swear too, and it's like, you guys didn't hear that.
At least I thought about it and I was like,
Yeah,
So
squeegeeing isn't gonna work right now.
you would go with some white?
Yeah,
Yellow?
if you were to do, yeah, a brighter yellow, or draw that yellow in, it would work really well. You know what, this is gonna be a painting shirt. I just got paint all over this shirt.
Yeah, for me it's more like this is the only thing I had outside, so... So you would say like more of a brighter yellow here, for the water to go down.
I mean, consider the water isn't thick enough to be blue there. It's going to just be picking up sort of the canvas isn't sturdy. It's going to be picking up the colors of yeah, but and also reflecting the light of the sun. And then I always like to consider the gradient of things. As they get closer, they're going to get darker or more detailed. In this instance, at least, like the cave is darker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll tone that to a darker point, and then maybe you have just this like very reflective pond point here that's reflecting the blue sky or something. You know? I mean, that's me suggesting. You can do whatever is in your mind.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I just wonder, like, for the color of the water, would you just, like, now go with something...
I'd go with, like, white.
White?
Mm-hmm.
From here?
Mm-hmm. Smooth it out. Like, I would use a lot less.
Okay.
It's very thick. Unless, well, you're gonna probably have white crashing waves, right?
Yeah. That was an idea.
It's hard when I'm not doing the exact same thing as you alongside you. Like, how would I resolve that? Excuse me. You can't hear our music anymore because our boards are blocking the speakers. I mean, I can turn it up, but then it'll be too loud on the mic. It's funny. I'm just trying to pick up some highlights of the bright blue sky and some of the greens. I'm keeping it pretty muddy, ambiguous to what's going on outside there, because all of our detail is going on in here. I'm just gonna keep brightening that up. To make this feel like it's a very overexposed spot.
Actually, these might have worked.
Mm-hmm. You don't need to necessarily reflect everything, but if you'd like, I can kind of draw you a suggestion. Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, it's a player.
So I'm going to use a couple colors here. We have the cave. Has this shape, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking your red here, it makes a really nice shadow. Like that almost feels like it's the shadow of the sun hitting. So you kind of have that shadow that comes down in here, right? And it makes for a great shadow for this spot of water. Because like everything on that water is just a reflection out of here. But it is a reflection of what's above it, directly above it.
Yeah.
So this opening, I'm going to just create sort of a, there's a way to properly do this. Don't come at me. But we want to reflect some of that geometry that is occurring here across a symmetry line.
Sorry, I was.
You're reading comments.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Girl with the red hair. What's the name of the existence have? Right there.
She doesn't need one. She's moving.
Yeah.
So this the shape of this pond has no reflection, or has nothing to do with the shape of anything up here.
Yeah.
We're just reflecting some of what we can see through its reflection. If we were to choose where there's a line of symmetry, that's why I'm grabbing black. The line of symmetry will be here, and you can choose it kind of be anywhere. Anything that's above here, we kind of want to start reflecting the idea of. But the important part is that we don't really care about any stuff out here, right? None of this is important. What's really important is when it starts to reflect the shapes that are actually inside this pond. So this reflected part, this is now our sky, and it needs to be exactly this part. And so if I were to consider this same line, I can also just reflect my pond here, and it's about here, okay? So any of the image that you see in this spot needs to be reflected down here.
Okay, so it's just a piece of sky and the rest is cave.
So you'll have something that's like dark, 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 right? And it goes to light. And then you'll have a sky. Let's imagine that this is actually goes through where the horizon line is, because that'll be a little bit more interesting. You'll have to remember that the ocean color is the top part here.
Yeah.
Then the sky is this chunk here.
Yeah.
And then here is where there's like the caves. So it'll be red as well, similar to this color, but brighter.
But kind of for now too, right? Because I think that this might go a little bit darker.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't render out that much detail, but I would capture the same. These are your background colors, so I would try to capture those background colors.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to grab some titanium white. So excuse my reach. My palette knives.
So these this week you did all a series of paintings?
Yep. This is the 5th day. When we're done with today's, we'll go over all of the paintings one last time and admire our work.
Everything looks daylight amazing.
All of them are actually hanging up behind us right here. It's all of those.
Oh wow.
I did the unicorn.
Wow.
It was fun. It's been a fun week, guys.
Nice.
Yesterday I mentioned, and I will, it's worth repeating, I guess, I am taking a break next week, so there's not going to be any live streams. I think I deserve it.
Yeah.
In that meantime, I'm going to work on my Instagram mural. Get some work done on that.
Taking a break for
what? Sorry. Oh, just, I need to go
social
visit.
medias.
Yeah, I need to go visit family. I'm taking a break from live streaming.
You're gonna visit what?
Family.
Oh, okay.
This is, this painting is actually a gift from my nephew.
Oh, very nice.
Sorry, my canvas is getting away from me, guys. I'm just trying to fix it. I was thinking of getting like dust easels, but I don't know. I feel like they take up a lot more room.
Now that I have a bigger bedroom, I don't really like that.
A full standing easel?
Yeah.
You usually find them really cheap on Kijiji because people think that they want them and they don't use them.
So that's, maybe that's
So
not
don't buy it
very
new.
small.
Don't buy it new, is what I'm saying.
Okay. I don't know, like I kind of have all these plans, the things I want to do, and so let's not do everything at the same time because I don't know.
New city, new you.
That's the hope. I'm so excited though.
Is it this weekend you're moving?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh my god. When is your train?
6:47 in the morning.
In the morning? I was gonna say I'll come see you off, but there's no way I'm coming to see you off.
No.
This is us seeing you off.
Yes, it is. That's why I'm here. Because I'm like,
You know what? On next break, we're gonna have to go to the wine rack and pick up some wine
okay.
to celebrate. I mean, sorry, let me go back here. I mean, grape juice. We'll be drinking some grape juice
Grape
later
juice,
in
yeah.
stream. Some well-aged grape juice.
Yeah.
Some might say spoiled grape juice,
Never.
but those are just
Never spoiled.
those are just the ones who don't have a palate for it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, because I am going.
I completely I knew that it was like literally right around the corner, but literally tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna go party. Yeah.
tonight's the last night in Toronto for Mesa.
Yeah,
So
for
everyone-
a while. I'm gonna be back for Pride.
Well, yeah, of course, but I mean, like, as a resident of Toronto, so I'll say we'll save our farewells until later in the stream when we have some grape juice. I don't know the rules on stuff like that. Like, there's so many other people who will be like drinking or using substances on streams. And I'm just like, that. I don't think the other than a nice bottle of wine, I don't think that's like the artist's vibe here in the studio, at least.
Well, I think that, well, it depends. Each person is different.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just kind of talking. Grape juice is interesting.
Only if you're over 19.
Yeah, I mean, that was Keep, so I'm sure Keep likes some grape juice. Or wherever it's legal for you to drink grape juice.
Like this?
Yeah. And then as we get into doing more of the detail here, this will brighten up, this will darken out, and we'll keep that bright. Because you'll be like, oh, wait, that's that. Oh.
Okay.
Things will piece together and make a lot more sense as you build up your layers. So now I think is a good time for some structuring of your mid-ground and your foreground. Starting with the mid-ground, what are some are there rocks, are there boulders, and have you done shadow studies with like spheres? What do you think? If you were to have a sphere, and we'll do one in orange, right? And we wanted to give it shadow, right?
Darker color.
Right, yeah. But we want it, it's all about gradient.
Yeah.
So we're going to be working to build these objects, and we can start playing with the shape of it, right?
Yeah.
I want you to think about these types of rocks. When they get placed into the cave, the lightest spots are going to always be towards the opening.
Yeah.
The opening, not necessarily the sun. And so even if on the ceiling we have rocks that are up like this, and so the lightest spot is going to be towards the opening, but the sun, the imaginary sun, it could be up here still, but the opening is the brightest spot in our paintings. And so we want to make sure that all of our rocks sort of have this illusion that it is brighter towards that side. And then use blues to create shadows, the reverse colors. So it doesn't matter what color you start with. When we are working with natural light, specifically the sun, when it passes through our atmosphere and it casts shadows on anything, those shadows are going to be tinted blue.
Okay.
And so it doesn't matter what it is, the moment you start doing a tinted blue shadow, it's like, oh, it's outside.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to be doing in here. Our cave gets bluer as you are deeper in it.
And just like as a question, like I want to have a path here. You see, like I want something that comes here and tells me that, hey, this is a path. This is how I go through this bit.
So think of it more as the construction of the space itself. You have a plane here, sort of like a flat panel of space, right? And it comes towards us. And we have some walls made of rock formations on each side. And so we can draw out this color, this yellow, into that path a bit more, as though it's the sand being pulled into the cave here. And so when we begin pulling into our blues for our red, my red's a bit darker here, when you use your blues, maybe that blue doesn't get pulled into this as much.
Okay.
you know?
Got it.
Because that's more of that continuous plane.
Okay, got it.
Cool. Play with that. I'm here if you need me. I'm going to...
If I want to go with the brownish, just right? Blue here. And that. Just a darker.
This is purple. Yeah, it's gonna look purple, but in context of everything else, once it's done, you're gonna be like, oh, that is that's shadow. I think also it's just very thick. You're putting it on quite thick.
It's gonna make a joke, but here.
No adult jokes. I mean, sometimes I'll do an adult joke. It has to be in good taste.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
I don't have strict rules yet about the artist studio. It's only been me in here.
Maybe if I like have they like this.
See?
Color that I'm making.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
And that red is a beautiful highlight color that you can. It's your base, right?
Yeah.
And so you don't ever have to worry about it being like smudgy and gross. Like you have over here, you have that smudgy, gross white of the canvas underneath. You no longer have that here. That smudgy grossness is a red, and that's your base color.
Yeah.
And it just feels right. Because anytime you see that little bit of red, it's just like, oh, it's a bit of rock that's getting a highlight.
Yeah.
Instead of over here, it's just, why am I seeing white? kind of thing, you know?
It's gonna change.
Exactly. That's the point, is it's a perfect underlayer.
It is. It's a very good thing to work with. It's awesome. So I'm gonna do this and
I think I still need to play a bit with the squeegee. I'll just figure it out.
think of all my shadows up.
The squeegee just feels so right. I love this thing.
Yeah, it's
Such a fun tool.
I was gonna mention that. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, the way they compose with the squeegee, it's
Squeegee.
it feels right.
Especially for these Minecraft paintings. I'm definitely going to do a series of them. This is one of two major ones that I'm going to be doing. My other nephews, both my nephews are really into Minecraft. So they're getting Minecraft paintings for their birthdays.
Oh, nice. So good to have an uncle that is like artist, right? So then you're just like...
Just create something from the things they're interested in. Exactly.
That's the best.
Over here, I'm just gonna smudge up some of this red and pink. And the squeegee's gonna do a lot of the work here for creating texture and varying layers. Just worked so well for that background. You can't give it up. Anyhow, we can't tell whether you're being serious or not. So if you are being serious, we do hope you will. You have a good one.
Say I'm loving this. It's not the greatest artist.
Mesa has been my student for the last few months, so we've been having a lot of fun just getting together, usually on Mondays.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy that we've had this final night to to do a painting together.
Yeah, and like, but for me, it's very nice how I see the difference between
Your growth, immediate growth.
Yes,
It's good.
yeah,
It's
is.
gratifying.
Like I try to be more relaxed in what I'm painting, and
Mhm.
I feel that I see more.
You can use this as a reference, or paint on it if you like.
Awesome, yeah. I see more of realism in my painting right
Yeah.
now than before.
You get. That's what I've been trying to do as a teacher. I'm focusing specifically on visual skills, the ability to actually visualize the world in the different artistic manners. So this week I've been kind of focusing on Impressionism, though I admit a lot of my work has veered from Impressionist to standard realism and painterly landscapes. But you know, we've been having a lot of fun with it. We're just getting back into the rhythm of paint and getting comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I've been working primarily in digital media for like, the longest many years, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure, Miha. Definitely gonna start bringing in. I think we need to bring in some like materials, ores, and things. This is a Minecraft world. It's supposed to be mine at least, and so I think it needs to have some diamonds and stuff. It's not what I'm doing right here. I'm just gonna play with color.
See, now I can actually like see.
Exactly.
I don't know. I might be tripping, but I think that I.
No, you did it. This looks very Frida Kahlo paintings.
Awesome. See, who knows?
Yeah, she's like, yeah, definitely. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
No idea who Frida Kahlo is.
No, I do know. I have a painting of her.
Oh, okay,
that
nice.
I made myself.
Nice.
Did I ever show you?
I think you did.
Yeah. That is just her.
So
like-
proud of her eyebrow.
Yeah.
Just the one.
I could go like her if I didn't.
I kind of gave it up, but my family has a history of that single eyebrow, and as a youth, I plucked a lot, and it's gotten to a point where it doesn't really grow there anymore. I call that as a win.
Yep. That's about the same for me. Cause I've always been afraid.
I wasn't a fan of it. And then I learned about Frida, and then I was just like, nah, I'm still not a fan of it.
Yeah, she's awesome. However.
Yeah, go you. More power to you.
Yeah.
I'm good. Okay. You know what I said I wasn't going to do it, but I need some black to make some coal. That's so cool.
I'm really enjoying what's going on here.
This is really nice. I like that you're using that sharper edge as though that's that rock edge.
Yeah.
Very good.
Because maybe, just maybe.
It's your world. You get to put whatever you want in there.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to be getting into foliage in mine in a little bit. I'm adding a few more layers here and there still. But, well, look at them up on the screen. Look how cool that is.
It is.
It looks
see?
nice.
I'm really liking this and how this is
Yep.
becoming. It's awesome. So proud.
Good.
Yay.
Definitely need to bring more people into here to paint with me.
Yeah. But we should do like online sessions. Let me just settle down there.
Yeah, and then we could even have you come in onto the live streams through a video call.
Yes, that would be cool.
So we set your camera up so you see your painting. I can even show you how I easily set up 2 cameras. And you can flip back and forth. Where is... Oh, they're down here.
And also, I should be back for Pride Month. I'm gonna...
Well, July for Pride?
June? Right?
June? Is it June? I'm awful with Pride. Every year it's just like, I kind of miss the main events.
You should be more proud.
Last year I went to the parade for the first time. Ever. I'm not joking. Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
It's just, and I've lived in Toronto for almost a decade. And it's not that I've been not proud or anything. I've been out for a while, so it's funny. I don't know. I usually just kind of... I'm not a partier. I admit it. I'm not a partier. And so when Pride usually happens, it's not in my radar, and I've made plans. And so I end up finding myself out of Toronto on the weekend. I'm like, why is it so busy in Toronto? What's going on? And people are like, it's Pride, you dummy.
Yeah. I'm coming back for Pride.
Nice.
I'm very proud nowadays.
Mm-hmm. There, I got some patches of coal.
Is this like the black that you like the most, the coal?
Ultimately you need it to make like torches in the game. So you would like go mine it.
Oh.
I almost feel like right here is just like a stream of water that's coming down. Little opening, right? I was kind of inspired by your opening. I was like, I need a little opening, I think.
So far, is it like, wow.
Right? It's a really good one.
Yeah, but like I'm not bringing a bunch of things. I'm bringing my art supplies though.
That's good.
Because I want to be able to just dedicate more of my time with that.
Sure you don't want those paints that you said you weren't going to use?
100%.
You should pick up the primary colors like I have.
Yes, I really like those. But at this moment, I have...
You can buy them in much smaller tubs as well. Which, like, I would recommend everyone, if you're looking for replacing paints, just stop buying specific paints. Spend more money on higher quality primaries, and then get used to working with those primaries. And once you want to work on something that's really like your masterpiece, that's when you can start specializing in getting specific colors and high quality versions of those.
I wish someone had told me this a while ago. No, because it is. Now I have so much paint.
Yeah.
So many tones of magenta.
Yeah.
You have like 50 shades of gray. I have 50 shades of magenta. Although I really like the phthalo blue and phthalo.
No idea what color
gray.
that is.
It's like
Yeah.
so beautiful. You mix them together and you get a nice emerald. But they are very like non-primary colors ones.
You really need to get the primaries down, and once you have that, then it's fun to start experimenting with those weirder colors. But like again, even look at this. You can make your own palette using the primaries.
Maybe I want some green here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be diving into green here shortly.
Finish. Just put this rock here and maybe just put some green over here.
I need yellow.
Right? I think I want that.
If water is like standing there all the time, wouldn't green stuff like start growing in and around maybe?
Yeah, around here.
Yeah.
Probably, and then just have some.
Excuse me, reach, guys.
But also, it's seawater. Oh no, it will grow anything. Never mind.
Seawater hasn't
Let's
quite the ability. Let's pretend I didn't say that. Yeah.
And let's pretend that I went to all the science classes.
Oh my god, there's so many times where I will say things on stream and I'm just like, oh, brain.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, sometimes, like, why?
One of these days, if someone sees my stream that's like a big YouTuber or something, or like a TikToker, they're gonna be like able to meme the crap out of me, and I'm not gonna be happy. I might be happy. It might be funny.
Yeah.
I think I have an ability to laugh at myself at this point.
Me too. I go from 1 to 80 in a heartbeat.
What?
Go to from 1 to 80 in a heartbeat with like emotions towards myself.
Still didn't get that. Your accent's thick right there. What are you saying?
Go from 1 to 80.
Oh, 1 to 80.
Yes,
Oh.
not 80. 80.
I have heard 0 to 60.
Oh my gosh, come on.
0, you know, 1 3.5. Get in the car, shut up and drive. Isn't that like Rihanna?
Come on, my accent is not that bad. No, it is. Sometimes it is. Some days
No.
I'm completely forgetting English.
There's, I think it has to do with me as well. Like, my mind doesn't register sound sometimes, like, correctly. It doesn't piece the words together. And I think that's because of, like, my attention is sometimes difficult to focus in on things. So, yeah, the picking out specifically, like, what someone is saying, if I didn't get it the first time, it can quite often be challenging to get it any time. And keep trying.
I hear that though.
I think I want to just, like, allude to the idea that there's torchlight somewhere. Down here or something.
For me, it's hard sometimes with this ear because I have only 60% of the hearing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you get damage when you were a kid?
I was born like that.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes people think I might be rude or something like that, but it's just like I'm
No, I just
literally-
didn't hear you. Apologies.
Yeah. I hate when people mumble. And I'm like, really? They need to do that with me? I have a friend that's the way that he talks, and I'm like, dude.
My grandmother mumbles a lot to herself. We don't take offense to it. We just know that she's not talking to us.
No, as long as you're not talking with me, the problem's gonna happen. Don't do it. Then I'm the one to be rude when I ask you to just, you know, repeat yourself.
Maybe a bit much there. Let's pull back.
Oh, we're gonna have some burning on it, yeah. It's beautiful. I'm gonna sell this for the bargain of $300.
Need to pay my rent. I haven't sold any art in the studio other than like I have a patron, which is fun. I have a patron. They're in my credits at the end of the videos. But yeah, I just haven't put the work up anywhere for sale. To be honest, it's my fault.
Yeah.
I have no one to blame but myself.
We have to be realistic in life, you know, like there are things that like, oh, it's because it's not working. Yeah, but how much effort?
How much effort are you putting in to sell it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the artist studio is a lot of that is I've been building the studio itself up.
Yeah.
And creating the content and getting to know more of what the audience is looking for and having more of a rapport with the camera and being able to talk to you guys. It's nice to be able to do that, but then there's so many like little hitches that you don't realize, like getting the audio levels exactly correct and battling the pitches in music, and there's just so much to trying to put your art out there now as an artist. It's challenging.
Oh yeah. You know that there, no?
Like I wouldn't give it up. I like this too much. Like I've thought about if I had the ability one day I'd be able to hopefully be able to hire an editor who is more interested in the video aspects of this content and like actually created the compilations of the work.
Cool.
But I don't know, my thought on that disappeared.
Why?
I don't have the money for that.
Yeah, it's okay. One step at a time.
Yeah, exactly. I look forward to the moment that the studio will get that.
Yeah, it will, you know, like once you work for things, eventually they are going to, you know,
They'll pay off eventually.
I have a lot of trust in the work we put out into the universe. I want to find something that I want to
In a manner. What manner?
do. I want to have a business for myself. I don't want to be like always working for someone else. So
This kickstand that I've made for myself is awful. But that's okay. This is really cool. I just looked at the image there. The preview just looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it does. I'm very glad with this. To be very honest.
Mia's back in role playing their inspection officer.
I'm glad that my time to be afraid of immigration is gone.
give up on the kickstand on my canvas here in a bit. It's just not working out for me. I might have to make another one.
My father always gets impressed, like when I show him. It's okay, like I said, I don't think I am amazing at drawing or nothing, but he's always like, "You did that yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah."
I strive for that admiration. I look for it all the time.
He's like, "Oh, you're actually good." I'm like,
Yeah, you're right. I love.
"Thank you."
Isn't it great when someone compliments you and they add the word "actually" in there?
Yeah,
It's like I wasn't expecting you to be good at something.
Yeah, but you actually surprised me. I'm like, wow, thank you so much.
Thanks,
'cause
Dad.
My life clearly is about that. No, but it's okay.
Yeah, the further you go in, the more blue you put in.
Yeah, that was my idea.
That's really cool. It's almost just like there's this green pasture of growth over there.
Yeah, that's kind of. It started as like an idea, and it started to remind me of some place.
Yep.
So.
What's great about this is that you can do whatever. Like your mind starts building some of the features as you go, and that's kind of what the vibe has been this whole week. Is like we're going with what we're feeling, and I think that's what Bob Ross has taught us well. Kind of just going with the flow, and we make happy little accidents that turn out to be something beautiful.
Yeah, that's what they call babies.
See, that's an appropriate adult joke.
Most of
Yeah, we
them
need to get a
are-
second artist in here. Permanently. Oh, that's so funny. Alright, I'm gonna replace this kickstand. It's driving me nuts. What time are we at? Almost 2 hours. We're gonna be taking a break here shortly. We have to go to the wine rack. The grape juice store. The grape juice store. And pick up some grape juice to celebrate this night of painting. So we'll probably be gone for about 15 minutes on the next break, and it'll give us more time for these canvases to dry up.
Yeah, 'cause mine.
Yeah, you've laid on that green pretty thick, but I think it's appropriate. We needed that. When we get back, well, you can fill in your upper area, but yeah, reminder that you want it nice and bright, and so maybe we'll work on like using brighter colors and keeping that pink in there. Thanks, Keep. Yeah, we'll go on our break here now.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in about 15 minutes, guys. I'm just gonna go to the hidden screen.
That's actually very cute.
And we're back. That was probably longer than 15 minutes, but I'm happy you guys stuck around with us. We are going to get back into painting our caves, and this, I think we're going to be focusing on details, right? And, well, I think Mason needs to finish up her ceiling, right?
What is your suggestion that I still go with the red?
Yeah, so I would be...
Maybe just going in there.
So here you've done a lot of reds mixed with blues, right? I would just use less blue, right? And do more of a gradient building up to just the pure reds here. We'll be using like sun colors. You got our grape juice here, Sean, thank you.
Thank you.
Mesa, to paint night.
Yeah.
You guys are with us. Thank you so much for joining us. So I'm thinking in a bit we will be pulling like more whites and yellows to create some highlights of the sun, right? So that's what we can do to create some of the structures of the closer rocks here. But you could pull in some of this sort of dark purpley reds and do that here. And you could do that same darkened tones all the way into this dark spot here, you know?
And just go in a gradient.
Gradient to light. Nice light ones. For myself, where am I gonna go with this? I need to change camera to here. Let's talk about mine for a second. So, this guy, what I'm imagining, what I first imagined was that this was sort of this cave came out this way and then was down deep into darkened spot down here. I'm really feeling that, ooh, this is almost like lava over here I'm kind of created. I think I have to stick with that idea. That's gonna have to be some lava. Yeah. Out over here, I want to fit in somewhere the nether portal that's kind of exploding out all of this red structure. So I think maybe we'll start over here. We'll start from the right and work our way left a little bit. To mini cam one. There, we'll have sort of mini half and half. There we go. Now, remember, don't put your paintbrush into your wine glass.
Yeah. The wine glass, I know that I won't see. My water glass might suffer. You already almost did, like a couple times.
Oh, that's what I meant to do. When I got back into this, I needed to reset my canvas kickstand back up.
Oh, yeah.
It's falling all over the place.
I remember talking about it. about the idea of like reproducing art that like images that art from other artists? Try to not copy, but maybe do your very own version of that.
It's all a great study. If you guys are ever having the same worry that Mesa is, and you worry that doing replicas of existing work might be infringing on copyright,
Yeah.
every artist starts by, to the camera, this is important stuff, every artist starts by replications. There is no one who has all of the skills that they have from the time and efforts that they put in, who hasn't brought some of those skills elsewhere, from someone else's work, from something that they've seen, that they've been inspired by. And honestly, replicating work is one of the easiest ways to get into the mindset of another artist. Like, you will have the ability to analyze paint strokes more vividly when you get close up to the painting and you're actually spending time trying to understand how you can make that as well.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different way of creating art, and certainly there's a lot of people that don't like to they'll put down people who make replicas of art, but it is a fine art in itself. Like, there's whole people who go to school to study replications. So, like, I don't know if anyone, there was a movie recently, I think it was like a Picasso movie, where a ton of artists who were trained on Picasso-like paintings painted frame by frame a documentary-esque style of movie based on his life and in the style of his paintings.
Oh, really?
So that wouldn't be possible as a masterwork of art if people didn't take the time to actually study and practice his skill. Right?
That's fair. Because, like, but I also feel like even though you're, like, copying, unless you're, like, very good on, like, just nailing the perfection, I always feel that there's something that is yours.
Well, that's the main thing that I would recommend any artist who is making a copy of someone else's work. Think about what you can do to make it uniquely yours. So I've had a student recently who, most of the teachers that he's had, they've instructed him to paint based off of previous work that he's done, which a lot of that is copying existing artwork. And that's been great, but he hasn't been spending a whole lot of time on how he could make those specific compositions changed in ways that would represent more of his values. So I proposed that as a question to him. I told him, Robert, how can you take this painting that we have? For him, he's Jewish, and so he chose a painting that he wanted to paint that had a very Christian subject matter. And so I had asked him, how can you observe this through the lens of Robert? Like, how can Robert make this uniquely Robert's painting? And in the end, he changed the subject matter from being, it had a cross in it, and it changed from being a cross to a menorah sitting on a windowsill. And the general vibe of the painting, it's immediately, like, it's recognizable that it's like a replica of something. Or it was actually Frida Kahlo's work, I think, that he was replicating. But it was his. It was Robert's painting.
Okay.
Because it had his subject matter, and it was his touch to it. He was very proud of it in the end.
Yeah. I feel that there's lots of that. Because, like, when I first started painting, of course I went to, this is like easy acrylic painting for beginners and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Now that I am a professional, I don't know. Anyhow, so you would paint with someone, but then yeah, all of our paintings between me and my friends all came out different.
Yeah.
Because we are not the same people.
I love those paint-along sessions, and I think I would probably end up doing some of those somehow in the future. But I did paint-alongs with kids in that day camp that I was teaching at. And it was so much fun. It was just like to be able to encourage them to take the same kind of concepts and make it really different in theirs by maybe changing the color a little bit or focusing on different aspects in what we were creating. I don't know. It was a lot of fun.
With kids, like, they have still their beautiful minds. A lot of imagination. I'm really digging what's going on here. It's very bright right there.
I think I promised I was gonna work into some foliage and haven't done that yet, so maybe I'm just going to ignore myself there and work for this space a little bit. Where's my good friend Squeegee?
The top was darkness.
Where's my Squeegee?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah. No, but actually, where are you?
Did you drop or something?
That's what I thought, but
Oh, did you put it away with...
no.
No? When you went to...
Maybe I did take it to the other room. Where do you see us? Yeah, right there.
Found it.
I did take it to the other room.
Go figure. Mind tricks, mind tricks.
Mind freak.
Huh.
I want to sweep this.
Oh my gosh, I'm completely in love with this.
Good. I'm happy. So you can leave on a really good note here in Toronto.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of way to, I don't know, frame it or just hang nicely somewhere?
You're gonna really appreciate when you peel it back. There's gonna be a really nice way to present it, and I'll show you that when we're done. All of that comes off, and it's a beautiful white border. You can see an example of that behind you.
Yeah.
And so you can hang it literally just like that, or like I've done on that painting in the hallway there. This foreground, I don't even know what's happening, but it's just stuff. Stuff is happening, you know?
I should have give the stream to some people.
Some friends tune in?
Yeah.
That's alright. Next time. Evidently we're gonna need to do this again.
Yeah. But for real, like, let's not just, oh, like, we need you and never do that. No.
No, honestly.
Yeah.
Trust me, I follow up on stuff like this.
Okay, cool. Because there's a lot of like.
I wouldn't have the YouTube channel if I didn't, right?
That's true. That is very much true, my friend. So. I'm really digging this vibe here. Let me just get some of this light.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we almost need to do this thing. Just gonna focus in on that.
Okay.
How cool is that, guys? Hey, there's no room for dogs up here.
Yep. We are teeny tiny babies.
Put me up.
But not right now.
I want to make something's like happening up there at the top. We're both just looking at this space over here. What's going on? What's going on with that space?
Needs to change the color now. Maybe the beige, maybe.
Oh, now we're back over here. We're going to talk about that. So we're talking about this. I think this is perfect, and the amount of reflected light, it's cheating a little bit, but I think you don't need to really change much about that. You're suggesting bringing the sand color in a bit more, and I'm totally for that.
Yeah, I think that should, and that could use some shadowing here, but
Yeah, if you brought that sand color and then toned it a little blue, don't use it too much, otherwise it'll go green.
yeah, I think it's needed in this whatever. I don't really like it. I just green again, just maybe. See, my glass of water.
Did you almost? Yeah. Thank you so much, Keep.
Myself so much.
Keep likes her paintings.
Oh yeah. Maybe that's what we were saying. Like, you know, it's just.
The fundamental ideas are the same, and if anyone else wants to do cave paintings, seriously, they're so easy. You're just working with bright colors in your focus point, and then building darker colors out or to the sides. That way, you can kind of play with forms that round. If you've done any shadow studies on the primary forms, like a sphere, or in this case, I'm working with cubes, you can play with the idea that as long as our faces that are facing away from our light source are darker than the side faces that are cheeking towards the light source. It's quite bright, but for this example it'll do. And then that top piece of the cube should be a nice bright color. It's getting the most. Right? So that's kind of the fundamental forms that I am going with for this whole structure. I'm always thinking about these connections of colors at these intersections. We have a dark, a medium, and a light color coming together.
What I'm thinking here, no when you start to think of this, it seems like a place I know.
We often will create from our imagination, but our imagination draws upon things that we are more aware of or have a lot of work. Memories is kind of right. We're attuned to it, right? We have somewhat innate knowledge about it, and we apply that innate knowledge to our imagination. It's sort of like applying practical understandings of the world.
Okay.
Right? And so you get a lot of your practical understandings of the world from places you have a lot of memories of. And so you're trying to draw a beach, and so you're remembering a lot of the beaches that you've been to and you've had experiences of, and you're trying to now create vibes of that experience. Brushes? That's okay.
Yeah.
Usually at the... So I haven't really been sharing that aspect of these streams, but I've been having to clean like 10 to 20 brushes each day.
Like, it's wild. I just started using and using.
Yeah, I have a tendency of like, actually I don't want this brush anymore. It's a lot of the tone that I don't need.
Yeah.
Whoa, your hair is like, look at it. It looks as though it's part of the game.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna braid my hair. I'm gonna just keep them very. And I'm gonna put braids to here.
Very Montreal.
Huh?
Very Montreal.
Yeah. That's the vibe. That's the vibe I want. Some people are gonna say, "Oh, you're a hippie now."
Hmm? Sorry?
My family will say, "Ah, you're a hippie now."
My aunt, last time I was home for Christmas, she was visiting us, and she had seen me with my long hair, and she's like, "Hey, I got a hippie now! Finally, I got one!" She's a big hippie.
Yeah. This one.
I'm like, hell yeah, you did.
Free love. Oh my gosh, what did I get here? Horrible. What did I do?
Let's get in. Let's watch her do this. Happy accidents, remember? This is just a happy accident.
Exactly. It's just a baby. I'm just joking. There's any children watching.
They didn't hear the joke or understand it. It would have
Yeah,
gone over their
parents
head, I think. Maybe.
We're very much watching.
I can only hope that the mic is picking up our conversations nice and coherently.
I know, right? Because who would want to miss this?
You wouldn't want to miss any of this, yeah.
I totally forgot I made beige.
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 Your sand color?
Yeah, like it's yellow and white and blue. Alright.
You forget how to make it? Is that what you said? Oh, okay. It's white, yellow, right? And then just touches of blue. Red you put in, the more orange and brown it'll go. And it's a fine line between beige and browns. And then greens. If you're going too green, then you actually do need to add some red. See, like now, you need to add a bit of red. Just a little bit, like the tiniest amount. Yeah. And then more white. You'll get there. There we go. I'm trying to make like this sort of like platform opening here. That's sort of viewing around an edge. I think I just got it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you get your color too?
Yeah.
I like that.
Right on. What I was looking for. But I'm gonna do some yellow merging with this.
Yeah, a little bit more yellow. Although if you smooth it out,
Yeah.
use that color throughout here. You could wet it down.
That's
would be really nice.
My idea of like if I mix this around and I can use some yellow to just just some water.
Yeah, water is definitely your friend with acrylics.
Yeah. And watercolors.
You can basically turn acrylics into watercolors if you wet them enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you use really cheap medium, then like dollar store stuff, then the pigments will split sometimes, and you'll get like little chunks of the color floating around.
Why would you say that hairstyle like that is very Montreal?
Very, I feel like it's very punky of a city, like a very punk city.
Huh.
You know?
So
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I feel like, and also it has a strong artsy vibe to it.
That's true. Just like Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Have you ever been in Barcelona?
I have not been to Barcelona.
I'm gonna like it.
Sean's sister has been to Barcelona.
I love it.
You'll have to say it. Barcelona.
Barcelona. I'm gonna be back by January to do this experience again. For me reasons now.
Me reason.
Redo my birthday now. I'm gonna have an awesome birthday. Not redo because you cannot turn younger.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do. I think everyone should have gotten 2020 back.
I know, right? 2 years and like, what did I do in my adult hairs? It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fine. I agree with that.
I'm going to get a purpley color in here. We gotta get rid of these people in the corner.
The people in the corner.
We are the people in the corner.
Yeah, I was like,
Dylan's schizophrenic and seeing illusions.
I can play with that, and I can go with that. It's fine. I can respect everybody's.
No, look, we are. If you look at the little preview window up here, we're no people in the people in the corner. No people in the corner.
Ah, okay.
We're the people in the corner.
It's me in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, no one puts Mesa in the corner.
Doesn't matter, AJ.
Wait, I said I would move on to greenery like ages ago.
Yeah, you said.
I think I'm gonna do that now. I need to be done with the squeegee. Otherwise I'll be here all night. It's just so much fun. It's a fun tool. If you're a painter and you haven't played with a squeegee to paint backgrounds with, do it. It's so much fun.
It's good to know. Never had thought about it.
Look, it's just like easy impressionist painting. Done.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do this with a palette knife.
I'm really liking this.
Or let's get scrunched up paper towel.
It's me in the corner.
I think we're just gonna have some fun. This green.
That's so cool.
Now it's a Minecraft bush.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be like too organic looking. Like I kind of want them to still be little squares. I'll add some shading to them in a bit, but that form there. Maybe I'll do like a little twist in this paper. Start thinking about some vines or something we can do. So I'm gonna dip that twist in here. I'm just trying to play with some textures, get some interesting things going on.
It's me in the corner.
Little vines and leaves and things just sweeping into the space. There we that's probably enough green for that to sort of balances out that red, sharp red in the rest of the painting. We'll darken it up some of the sides with some blue, and then I'm gonna probably play with some water. I'm about done with mine.
Me too. I'm just gonna do some highlighting.
Yeah, totally. That's what I'll... Yes, highlighting, great idea.
But
So
I
shadows
really
here,
enjoy
and I'm gonna get into highlighting as well. So nice. So the highlighting is definitely gonna help with making everything look wet.
Yeah.
So all of your rocks, anytime you want spots that like look really wet, maybe the waterfront, you have little dipples of light that reflect off of some of the rocks and stuff down there, you know? If you look at my painting from yesterday, I had a really, like, this is very heavily pebbly space that's being reflected in moonlight.
Enjoy it.
Okay.
Highlighting.
I'm gonna do my shadow first.
With highlighting, you just go with white.
Yeah, you can tone it with some yellow. I would do, yeah, I would tone mine yellow at first. You could, what I would do is near the centers or the openings of your cave, you can do some little white highlights because it's the brightest spot in your canvas, and the amount of white should be less and less the further away from that center point you get, and you'd be very strategic with that pure white. But otherwise you can, yeah, use your yellows for the highlights because you have lots of this yellow in here. It'll make it'll blend out very nicely throughout the rest of the painting. Start with your yellows, maybe, and I really like your hard lines that you have here, maybe grabbing some of the highlights and things on that. So something that I would do on what I did my rocks yesterday, so you have something that's, well, here, I can highlight some of these for you, show you how I would go about doing it. Let's set that guy aside for a second. So a highlight can be any color, but we are going to work with like kind of a muddy beige, right? So with that, I'm imagining that like the cave opening is out this way, right? Somewhere out that way, because that's where my shadow is indicating. So I want this to pick up some of that highlight of the cave. No, watch. You gotta keep watching. I would put it along the edge, and then I would use my thumb or a piece of paper and smooth it out. And so doing that smoothing is going to create some uneven marks where maybe you even want to like create this like really sharp drastic highlight, and around those edges smooth some of it out, and it's going to be like the light is catching a bit of geometry there.
Okay.
It's always about gradients, because there's can be one sharp line, but the moment you have two sharp lines, it's as though it's a piece of steel or something sticking out of somewhere.
Got it. Maybe like... Oh, I like it.
See, finger, one of the best artist's tools.
It's one of the best tools.
Wink.
It's great. But even like when you're putting makeup on too, sometimes you go with like
You're way more accurate with your finger.
Yeah. I got very professional finger makeup because I.
Thought that was going to be a different sentence.
Not at this hour.
That's what happens when we start drinking grape juice.
Yeah. But like because I used to have to do that on the bus or something like that, so you know you cannot really have too much brushes, so you just like starts with
poke yourself in the eye.
Yeah. Well, it's better to poke yourself in the eye with your finger than
than a sharp tool.
A sharp tool or something.
To put some to indicate to some lava down here or something.
Fluoride lava.
Good.
Honestly.
Good. I'm so happy.
I am like looking at this. I'm like, yeah, this is what I came for. Wake up, Bessie.
Oh, you have to see. You have to look.
Look, Olive, look.
I've been calling Benny the art director lately.
Because he
From the studio.
comes to criticize
Yeah, he
you?
comes to criticize, and let's be honest, he's always right.
Yeah. My friend's dog, Alaska. Oh my gosh, that dog judges.
Yeah.
The other day I was there, we were changing, and she was like looking at us like,
You're gonna wear that out?
like, really?
I would think again.
Yeah. So I was like, "Ma, your dog." She said, She judges. Like, a lot. And I'm like,
Leave a comment if you have a judgy animal that you live with. Let's call them roommates.
Yeah. Yep, that happens too.
She gets startled sometimes. Little dogs.
I know.
I said I was done with this, but I'm not. I can't be. Just need some of that beautiful cubist texture. It's fun. No, it's just so much fun. Love these paintings.
Me too.
Yep.
But how? You don't know?
We don't. Eventually, it will build up enough that you can just peel it. Exactly. Plus the artist studio's desk.
Cool.
Every so often, I'll work with like Well Bond, which is just glue.
Mm-hmm.
It's acrylic glue, so it turns into like a very malleable plastic. And so it'll dry into big puddles onto the desk, and I can just peel the whole thing off. And it makes a nice, clean desk. Nice. And now you understand reflections.
Mm-hmm.
You can take that skill and you can apply it to future paintings.
100%. Really like it. Really enjoy it.
Just want to knock this up a little bit. I think I'm nearing done.
Yeah, I think I am pretty much done. Just need the most important, my signature.
Yeah, exactly.
This is very cool.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy with that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely gets the idea across, I think.
Yeah. Really like the cubism here,
Mhm.
and like it feels like cage.
Cave, yep.
Not cage.
Yep. Okay, let's have, I don't think we need to do break, do we? We're done?
Yeah.
Alright, do you want to sign it now or before the peel?
Yes.
Do that and then do the peel. The peel's the best part. I don't have a peel today for you guys, unfortunately, but Mesa has a peel for us. It's gonna be a lot of fun. See, it's like one of the best parts of doing a painting that has masking around the edges. I'm gonna do a signature in blue. Gotta find a good pen.
Still the third, right? Third tree.
What's that?
Third tree.
Yep.
There you go. That's a nice signature.
Thank you. I've been practicing all week. Alright, so I'm gonna get my painting out of the way and then we're gonna get into a nice shot for Mesa for her peel. Do a reveal of mine first, I suppose. Yeah. This is all out of the way. Go over to here. So, anyone who wasn't watching, this is the live. This is just preview.
Alright.
This is what I did in a previous, not a live stream. You guys never watched me paint this, but I was doing this on an art night with Mesa, so she watched me do this. But what we did do today, this little beauty here. I'll get a nice little close-up for you guys. What do you guys think? So it's sort of like the reverse of that little cave in that image there. Pretty cool, right? Now, moment of truth. Let's get Mesa in here. She can do a peel up. So when I do a peel of these, and this is a not attached to your peel. So I will just give you an example of how to peel away from your painting, like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
Here, scoot you in a little bit closer. Scoot you in a bit there, and pop it up. Is that in the way? Take this off.
Oh yeah, his camera is here.
Mm-hmm. To here. Yep.
Ooh.
Right.
This looks even better, like...
It's just, it had so much just doing a masked off border. Because it creates, immediately you're going to use white somewhere in your painting, right? And so it accents that white that you use in your painting very nicely. Something I was thinking about doing to my painting from yesterday was making a colored border. So I might still do that. I might pick out one of the colors that's in the painting and paint the border that specific color.
Would you do the border first and then do the painting?
Well, the painting's done.
Oh.
So I would just be very careful with painting it.
Yesterday. Sorry, people. Wow, I like it.
Right? These out of the way.
And the very last one.
Hold the...
It's okay, I think I got it. Wow, I like it. Oh my god.
I'll take the board and you can hold it to the camera. To the camera.
This is beautiful.
What do you guys think? So, let's do a rundown of what we've done all week. So first,
Thank you, Keith.
on Monday, we took a journey through the countryside, and we did a countryside hike. So, first we got into Impressionist paintings, learning how to do some of our luscious green landscapes, and getting really messy with that, right? The next day, we went into the city, and we painted the urban composition. So this one, we kind of stuck with our primary colors, and we were focusing on light. So a lot of attention to light in that stream. After that, we took a journey into space. We took a ride on a unicorn. So we made the Galactic Unicorns painting on Wednesday. Thursday, we went back down to Earth, and we fell down into the swamp to be greeted by the Baba Yaga.
Aww.
And then finally today, we've done some cave diving, and we went into the beach, and we exited out in a Minecraft world.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Like and subscribe if you guys have enjoyed this journey this week. I certainly have. This won't be the last time that we've done paintings that we do paintings in the studio. I love this way too much to not do it again. So, I will give more of a warning to those who want to paint along with us. I'll give a materials list and maybe some canvas sizes for you guys to prep if you guys want to do that.
That's cool.
But we'll definitely be seeing Mesa here in the studio again. Other than that, there's not much left to say other than thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And good luck in Montreal.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Take care, guys. We'll see you next time in the Artist Studio.
Bye. I am totally in love with this.